What's poppin', guys? Back in a brand new video. I'm doing also the man tried to come into my house and I think tried to hurt me. And he was not alone. It was all times. Almost. It smells like buns. Subscribe to get around too. He came to our house and he was not alone.
This happened last year around December. I was a sophomore and both my parents worked until 11 p.m. So by the time they came home, I was either asleep or playing on my phone. One night, it was around 9 p.m. and I felt thirsty, so I went to the kitchen to go get some water. When I glanced over and looked through the window of my door, there was a shadow of a person. I was very paranoid about these types of things, especially since I was home alone. I mean, it was really weird. Like, there was someone just standing in front of my doorstep, and they didn't even knock or ring the doorbell. So I went to the front door slowly and looked at the peephole to see who was standing there. And what I saw was heart-stopping. It was a man in his late 30s or early 40s. He had blood all over his shirt and face. And the worst part was that there were two more men behind him. They looked younger than him. I thought that I was probably going to get robbed or even killed. As I was slowly backing away, I heard one of them whispering, "One of you go and see if the back door is open." I immediately rushed to the back door before the other man could, but fortunately, the door was locked as usual. I then ran upstairs and called the police. They wanted me to stay on the phone with them, but as soon as they said that, I could hear the back gate being crushed. I was frightened, but tried not to scream as hard as possible. However, not long after, I could hear both men trying to break the front door too. I realized that they managed to come inside, so I ran into the bathroom and locked myself in there. At least 3 pairs of footsteps were barging about the house. Eventually, they were going to come upstairs, so I opened the window, getting ready to jump. One of the men was coming upstairs slowly, and each footstep was getting closer and closer. And that was the moment. He tried to twist the doorknob to open the door, but as it was locked, he knew. He yelled to the other man, "Someone's hiding in there," and he continued turning the doorknob violently. Again, I forced my hands over my mouth so that I wouldn't scream. I literally jumped out of the window into a bush. I hurt myself a little bit from the fall, but there was no time to hesitate. I stood up and turned to my left, and what I saw was the most terrifying thing I ever saw in my life. 2 other men were sitting at the back of my house, like as if they knew the window was there. They were waiting for me to jump. I was frustrated when they both stared right into my eyes. However, I immediately ran towards the street as fast as I could, and those 2 men started chasing after me. I thought I was going to die, but just then, I could hear the police sirens nearby, and as I turned around, I saw both men running in the opposite direction. One of the cops found me, and the other cops ran straight ahead and chased after them. I told them that there were more in the house. Finally, those 2 men were arrested, while 3 more cops rushed into my house. A few moments later, all the men were captured and handcuffed. I was so shocked and couldn't believe my eyes when they all were taken outside by the cops. It was not just 3 men who broke into our house. There were 7 in total, and they were all waiting for me to come out. While some of the cops were soothing me, the other cop called my parents, telling them what happened, and they immediately came back home. Shortly after, it turned out that those 7 men found out that I was the only one inside the house, so they planned to break in. Since then, I never stayed home alone, and I would always sleep at my grandma's house whenever I had to stay alone. But still, I always fear the fact that another incident may occur.